And again, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this wonderful Wednesday, Messer Financial Weekly Webinar Series. And in our efforts to assist you as agents to not only better learn your products, but the companies that represent those products, as well as some basic help in your sales process. And today we have with us Mr. Jeremy Grantham, who is the Director of Sales for Life Sales at the Mutual of Omaha Group. We've been partnered up with Mutual of Omaha for many, many years. But perhaps for you coming in with us today, it might be your first exposure to an actual presentation from their organization. And of course, you're all familiar with the head of the Indian, as you can see on your screen today. And so are your clients, which is, a wonderful benefit to presenting their products, because there certainly is an immediate familiarity to what's there. And with that in mind today, hopefully you're going to not only learn, but have a desire, if you don't already, have a contract in place so that you can not only know the products, but get on board and start generating some business with them. So, Jeremy, thank you very much
Yeah.
for joining us, and I'll let you take over, please.
Right. Thanks, Mark. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Jump on the Express session. As Mark mentioned, my name is Jeremy Grantham. I am a sales director here at Mutual of Omaha, and I specialize in our life insurance portfolio. I've been here at Mutual of Omaha for almost 12 years, and I have experience both in the brokerage world and the direct-to-consumer marketing side of our products, so very, very familiar with what we're going to go over today. Today, we will be discussing our Simplified Issue life portfolio. Those products are composed of our Living Promise, which is our final expense whole life insurance, Term Life Express, which is our Simplified Issue term product, and go over our Children's Whole Life product that we've had for a while now, but we just made some enhancements to it, and we'll kind of cover those as we go along. So there's a lot to cover, so we'll just go on and get started. So first, I'd like to begin with why Mutual of Omaha. For more than a century, Mutual of Omaha has been committed to listening to our customers and helping them through life's transitions by providing an array of insurance, financial, and banking products. When it comes to protecting your clients' financial future, you guys deserve to work with a name that you can trust. Our history demonstrates that our continued growth and success as a company is something that our customers can depend on. Here at Mutual of Omaha, we are proud of our solid financial status, and as you can see here on the screen, it's reinforced by the leading rating agencies out there. Just to also cover some cleanup information, because you'll be hearing the different terms between Mutual of Omaha and United of Omaha Life Insurance Company. Our life insurance products are underwritten by United of Omaha Life Insurance Company. United of Omaha is a wholly owned subsidiary of Mutual of Omaha. It was chartered in 1926, and we have been providing insurance and annuity products for over 90 years under that name. So a lot of times what you'll hear is you'll speak about Mutual of Omaha. Like you said, you'll see the Indian head, our logo, and then the customers will get a little confused by wondering who United of Omaha is. But again, you can be sure that it is, again, a wholly owned subsidiary of Mutual of Omaha, same company, same financial strength. So again, it's somebody they know and trust. Okay, and again, we're going to be discussing today our Simplified Issue product portfolio, and what this means to your customers is no blood draws, no paramed exams, and no urine samples on any of these products today. What this means for you is our products are quick to issue, and that means you get paid faster. So we'll just kind of jump on in. So what does Living Promise offer? Living Promise is again it's our final expense whole life insurance. It is designed to help provide affordable protection that pays benefits directly to the chosen beneficiary to take care of any of their outstanding medical bills, unexpected expenses, or any debt that they may leave behind. It also offers competitive premiums that fit many of your clients' budgets. The underwriting is very easy. There are, again, no medical exam. The coverage is based on just the answers to a few simple health questions. And again, we have a very strong brand that lets your clients know they're dealing with a top-rated insurance company that is strong, stable, and secure. Okay, now to get into the fun details part. Living Promise provides two plans that are available to your customer. the level benefit plan, and the graded benefit plan. As previously stated, the answers to just a few simple health questions will determine which plan your customer will be eligible for. Our level benefit plan, as you see here, is available for ages 45 to 85 in face amounts of $2,000 to $40,000. With the level benefit plan, there are two riders currently available, the accidental death benefit rider and the accelerated death benefit rider. We'll cover those in more detail in a few more slides. With the double plan, though, the full death benefit is available in any policy year. The other plan is our graded benefit plan, and it's available for ages 45 to 80 in face amounts from $2,000 to $20,000. The rates are a single class on this, and none of the riders are available with this plan. So it's just the base plan. And with the graded benefit plan, the death benefit in the first 2 years will be 110% of premiums paid if the death occurs for natural causes. So it does have that 2-year graded death benefit. And again, the application will determine which product is going to be written. Okay, so the application, again, 2 parts with the underwriting health questions. These are those questions that will determine the product availability. The questions in part 1 will determine if they are eligible for any coverage. So if you're in part 1 of the underwriting health questions, if your customer answers yes to any question, they are not eligible for either product. These questions are essentially knockouts. So if you get yes to any in part 1, you can't offer either the level or the graded benefit plan. So most cases, though, they're kind of the large insurance questions there that cover 1. So you move to 2 quite easily usually. So once you get to part 2, that'll determine if they're eligible for the level or the graded plan. So if you're in part 2 of the health questions and you get answer no to all the health questions, then they're available for the level plan. If you get a yes to any of the questions in part 2, that would mean that the applicant Are we back on?
I can hear you.
Sorry about that. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that. It was from mute to not there for a minute, so didn't know if you could hear. So again, just kind of cover this again. Again, we were talking about the questions. The part 1, you get a yes to any question there. It's a knockout. You can't move on. No products available. You get a yes to any question in part 2, then the application is going to be for that graded plan. If you get no throughout part 1 and 2 with all the health questions, that's when you know it's a level benefit plan offering. Okay, for eligibility other than age and health questions is very simple. The applicant has to be a legal resident of the United States, so not much to it there. Our express underwriting requirements are quick and easy. We run a medical information bureau check, we do a bill chart check, a pharmaceutical check, and then we conduct random or for-cause interviews. So a random phone interview is just like every 10th one that comes in the door as a whole for the company, not every 10th one of yours. We'll do a random phone interview to discuss to make sure everything matches. Or if we see something in our underwriting that contradicts one of the questions, we will do a phone interview to clear that up with the customer. Okay, now let's talk about the riders. The first rider is the accelerated death benefit rider. This rider is automatically added to all level policies, and again, at no extra charge to the customer. This rider allows the owner a one-time election to receive the accelerated benefit if the insured is either A, diagnosed with a terminal illness that with reasonable degree of certainty will result in the insured's death within 12 months or less, or B, has been confined to a nursing home for 90 consecutive days or more and is expected to remain confined for the duration of their life. So again, basically it's a living benefit rider that's for terminal illness or nursing home confinement. In this example you see on the screen, the insured would receive about $9,300 for a terminal illness acceleration or $7,900 for a nursing home confinement acceleration if they decided to accelerate that policy. You'll see also that in Florida, it's accelerated death for terminal illness and chronic, not nursing home, and in Connecticut, it's only available for terminal illness. Basically, it's a free living benefit rider that's added on to this. With this Living Promise Whole Life Living Benefit rider, if they do accelerate their policy to pay it out, it ends the insurance and there is no money left over for the beneficiary. You'll see in a few more slides when we cover our Term Life Express product that's a different story. You can accelerate some of it and leave a death benefit available, but not in the living promise. An acceleration would terminate the policy as a whole. Okay, the second rider that it's available is the accidental death benefit rider. This rider is not part of the base policy, but it can be added with additional premium. The rider provides an additional death benefit equal to the policy's face amount if the death of the insured results from accidental bodily injury and independent of sickness and other causes. So best way to think of it is you're kind of adding a small AD policy onto this for a few dollars more a month. If they bought this AD rider, they will just double their face amount if they die due to an accident. So if they bought a $20,000 policy and they died as a result of an accident, their beneficiary would receive $40,000. So it does provide a little extra protection if needed, but again, it's for accident only. Okay, as stated before, this product will fit many of your clients' budgets. You can see here some examples of our rates. Male age 60, non-tobacco, for a $10,000 face amount is only $42.76 a month. That's for the level benefit. If he were to add that accidental death rider, it's just a few dollars more a month, and that goes up to $45.65. The graded benefit premium for him would be $74.63. Female rates follow the same pattern. Age 60, non-tobacco, $10,000 face amount would be $32.87 for the level, $35.76 with the AD rider, and then $53.49 for the graded benefit. As you can, like I said, you can see here it's very affordable. One thing that we found that there's a lot of success with agents in is if you get into that area where you have to drop to a graded, either because they'd answer those questions in that part 2 with a yes, or if we come back with anything we found during the underwriting process and have to offer that graded, you can see here it's a big jump where you quoted somebody, let's say $42.76 a month for this policy. You start asking the health questions and it jumps up to $74.63. That is typically when a lot of customers will back out because, sometimes they feel it's a bait and switch. Sometimes they feel it's more than they could afford. So what a lot of our agents have had success doing is flexing that graded benefit offer down in order to kind of meet that $42.76. So if this were to happen to you, you offer the $42.76, you find out during the questions it goes to $74.63. Take a look at the graded benefit and rerun a quote there and see what it would take to get about $42 in coverage. It may only be a $3,000 policy, it may be a $5,000 policy, but it's still something that the customer can afford because they agreed to afford the $42.76. So make sure you try to flex that graded offer down to meet that premium amount that they were able to afford before. Because honestly, we see a lot of drop off when the graded offer comes to the table, just because, again, as you see here, the rate increases so much. So keep that in mind if that does happen where you get into those questions and you need to flex the graded. Check in to possibly see if they can't afford the $74.63, they feel it's too expensive. Try to offer a lower amount on the graded side and see what you can do to get that premium back down into their budget. Okay, that's it for the Living Promise Whole Life Final Expense Insurance. The next product we're going to discuss is our Term Life Express product. Also, you'll see it known here on our forms and things as TLE. Term Life Express offers a variety of provisions and optional benefits that today's customers really, really want. It's designed for young families, dual income families, people with long-term debts, such as mortgages, and families with limited resources and a little bit larger insurance needs than the final expense would offer. It offers simplified underwriting and face amounts up to $300,000. There is a maximum coverage amount of $250,000 for those older ages, 51 to 65. The available terms are 10, 15, 20, and 30 years. We do offer a return of premium product, and it's only available on the 20 and 30-year terms and only available for those 18 to 50. With this, there are only 7 knockout questions on the application, and we have a very fast turnaround time with most policies issuing in 5 days or fewer. This policy also comes with these popular no-cost riders and provisions. Again, it's the living benefit riders, residential damage and unemployment waiver of premium riders, and the common carrier death benefit. With this policy, there are only 2 underwriting classes, that's standard non-tobacco and standard tobacco. And the underwriting requirements are simple. It's not like a typical term product where you've got to determine the underwriting classes. That's pretty much what those questions do. If they answer the questions in the appropriate fashion, that's where they're going to be. What this is we just don't go up to the premiums or the preferreds, and we don't go down to the table ratings. So everybody will be the same two classes. It's either you're a smoker or you're not, and you qualify. Again, we run a medical information bureau check, build chart, and pharmaceutical check. With this one, we do a motor vehicle records check, and it is mandatory for the younger ages at 18 to 35, and then as needed ages 36 to 65 if we see something in underwriting that would cause us to look at that. And there is also a mandatory phone interview for anybody who applies for $250,000 or above if they're those younger ages of 18 to 50. And again, as with our simplified portfolio, no paramed, no blood, no urine. All done through simplified underwriting and then the few questions that we have on the application. Okay, one of the great features that we have with our term life policy is our living benefit rider that, again, is automatically added to all of the non-return of premium policies. This rider gives the insured the option to accelerate up to 80% of their face amount of the policy, and not only with terminal illness like we saw in the last product or what we see with a lot of our competitors, but it also covers chronic and critical illness as well. Up until about late 2016, we did not have the critical and chronic as part of this policy. It was only the terminal. And since we added these two into this rider, we've seen an increase of about 30% in sales, and it's held steady since that end of 2016. Because again, this is something that the consumers wanted. They like these type of benefits, and it's really helping sell this product. So as you can see on the screen, terminal illness is defined as a life expectancy of 12 months or less. For critical illness, it provides the benefit if the insured has been certified by a physician as having one or more of the following conditions within the last 12 months, and that is the ALS, kidney failure, a life-threatening cancer, major organ failure, heart attack, and stroke. The chronic illness portion of this rider provides the benefit if the insured is certified by a physician within the last 12 months as unable to perform 206 of the ADLs for 90 consecutive days, or they require substantial supervision to protect themselves from threats of health and safety due to severe cognitive impairment. With all these acceleration amount, with all this, when you do the acceleration, the amount that they accelerate is reduced by an interest rate and life expectancy discount, and that takes into account United of Omaha's loss of future premiums and some of the investment that we do to keep these products whole. So basically, how they operate is you'll accelerate 80% of the face amount. So if you have a policy that's $100,000 that gets approved, they want to accelerate. They get diagnosed with a terminal illness, and they want to accelerate their death benefit, so they can accelerate up to $80,000 if they want to pay for medical expenses, if they want to help get things in order before they pass, if they want to quit their job because they have a terminal illness. Many reasons. It really doesn't matter to us what the reason is. They can take that acceleration for whatever is helpful for them. But they now have $80,000 of their life insurance benefit that they can claim and take while they're still alive. Again, that $80,000 will be reduced by the discounts that we do apply to that, but it will leave that 20% of the policy left in force for their beneficiaries. So again, on a $100,000 policy, they can accelerate $80,000. They'll get that portion paid ahead of time, and then when they do pass, the remaining $20,000 will be paid as a death benefit. So again, it's an excellent rider that, again, no cost to the customer. It's automatically added to all the policies. Unless it's an ROP policy, then it's only terminal illness. And again, it's also not available in California and New York. Just those states have not approved this rider as of today. So that's a very great selling point for this product. The other no-cost riders and provisions are the residential damage waiver of premium rider, which provides the insured a one-time 6-month period where we, as United of Omaha, will waive the premiums if their residence receives $25,000 or more of damage. We also have the unemployment waiver of premium rider that, again, waives the insured's premiums for a one-time 6-month period if they become unemployed and apply for federal or state unemployment assistance. And finally, the common carrier death benefit provision is an additional death benefit worth up to the lesser of 100% of the original face amount or $250,000. And again, that just pays if they die in a common carrier type accident, plane, train, anything that they're a fair paying customer on. And again, these are all part of the base policy with no additional cost. So as some of you, I don't know if anybody's in Florida, that as we saw last year, or with the floods that came and the hurricanes, a lot of people have that $25,000 in home damage. It'd just be nice if for 6 months you can waive your insurance premiums while you get back on your feet. So again, it's not necessarily a death benefit or something that a lot of people think is a great selling point, but at those times in your life when you're unemployed or when you have a major damage to your home due to a storm or something of that matter, it's just helpful to know that you can worry about the things you need to worry about, and your insurance is going to be okay for 6 months. So another great option with this policy, so you can sell it there. Okay, that covers our Term Life Express product. Our last product we're going to cover as part of our Express portfolio is our Children's Whole Life. And again, this insurance helps cover costs associated with unexpected loss, has cash value that can grow along with the child, and also provides protections for the child's future insurability. It is available for issue ages 14 days to 17 years in face amounts of $5,000 to $50,000. Again, and if you're familiar with our policy and recently or sold it previously, that used to be $5,000 to $30,000. So we did up that initial amount. They can get to $50,000 as of January. Application can be submitted without parent signature in all states except Pennsylvania, and there are only 2 health questions on the application. So very, very simple. The premiums fit well into many budgets, again, whether it's a parent or a grandparent buying it. A 2-week-old, for example, can be approved for a $50,000 policy for only $16 a month. So it's something that we see a lot of grandparents are starting to buy for their grandchildren more than parents for their children, and it's partly due to grandparents understand mortality better, or they understand the decline of insurance due to diseases that this product can help protect against. And again, with that's the, if you ask me personally, the best selling point for this policy and why I am a firm believer in it and think every parent or grandparent should buy it is the guaranteed insurability rider. And again, this rider is included with the base policy, no additional cost. It provides the insured the option to increase the specified amount of policy the policy has up to 5 times during their lifetime as an adult. So again, if you were familiar with our previous product, we only had 4 ages that you could accelerate at, and where you could buy additional premium or buy additional face amount as an adult. Well, we've updated this rider to include, as you see here, marriage, purchase of a home, birth or adoption of a child, and we also have 4 of the dates here, which we made a little younger in this scenario with this policy. So 25, 30, 35, and 40. And again, what this means is, if your parents or grandparents bought you a $50,000 policy as a child, you have it in force. When you become an adult, you can purchase an additional $50,000 once you get married, so you now have $100,000. Then you and your wife buy a house, you can go purchase another $50,000. So now you got married, you have a house, and you have $150,000 in life insurance. And again, the only underwriting was when you were a child, those 2 health questions. At these life events, you're not being underwritten anymore. It's guaranteed insurability. Again, you have a child, now you're up to $200,000, and you hit your 30th birthday, you're up to $250,000, whatever it takes. But you get to use these. You can take advantage of 5 of these options. So again, if you do it when you get married, you purchase a home, you have a child, then you get 2 of these birth dates here. Either 30 or 35. You can buy 2 additional segments there. So again, you can have up to 500. A large policy. That's a whole life policy that was only available, that you only had to underwrite with 2 health questions when you were 10 years old or 5 years old or whenever your parents or grandparents bought it. I can tell you, I've seen people who were saved by this, whether they had developed juvenile diabetes after the policy was issued, or had cancer at a young age where they couldn't get any other type of insurance, but because they had a Children's Whole Life policy, they were able to secure that insurance in the future for their family's needs. So again, one of the selling points here is, yes, this is child insurance that a lot of parents don't want to talk about. They don't want to have a conversation about their child dying or needing this type of coverage. But the better way to sell it is that while it is life insurance on your child, you're also guaranteeing their insurability as an adult. And here's the steps, and here's where they can purchase that more insurance for no more underwriting than they took at that early stage of their life with 2 health questions. The other thing that we've recently added to this policy that is something that our customers wanted and kind of a need we saw arise is it's a new rider that we added, and it's the waiver of premium due to death of the owner rider. We find with these policies that grandma, grandpa, mom, and dad are the owner of the insured child. Well, with grandparents buying it at a much higher rate, unfortunately, some of them are passing away prior to that grandchild turning of age to take over the policy. Our old policy, if we didn't know that and we didn't get a premium payment, the policy would lapse as a normal standard process. Well, now we've built in this rider that, it's a no-cost rider that waives the premium for one 90-day period if the owner dies while the policy is in force. So again, it's available after 24 months after the policy is issued, but if grandma buys the policy and she passes away in 3 years and the child's not of age to take over the policy, we're going to waive those premiums for that 90 days so somebody can get that kind of taken care of and get a new owner, whether it goes to another parent, another grandparent, or whoever becomes that legal guardian of the child can take ownership of the policy if they're not of age at 18 yet. So again, it's something that we found a shortcoming in our old product, and we added it to it. So another great selling point that just puts the customers at ease that they don't have to worry about this at that exact time they're dealing with another death in the family. So it's a great product. I think every child should have it just based on the high propensity for children to have diseases at a younger ages that we're seeing now. We're seeing cancer more prevalent. Again, diabetes is out there, and you get juvenile diabetes. There's very few policies that'll underwrite you as an early adult. So this really helps in those scenarios if you can get this policy prior to the diagnosis. Okay, and that's the last of it of the actual product information. So kind of talk about here, just going over the options of how to quote. Quotes for all of these products are available online through our Sales Professional Access tool or through an application that some of you may have or may be familiar with, but we do have an application that's available for smartphones or tablets called the Quotes for Sales Professional. And again, you can get that in the App Store or Google Play, depending on what type of device you have. You simply search for Mutual of Omaha in the store. You'll see 3 apps that are available. One is for our bank. Another is called Life Insurance for Living. And then the third one is Quotes for Sales Professional. Download the Quotes for Sales Professional app to your phone, your tablet, and then anytime you want to quote, it's just a quick, easy, app that you can answer a few questions, and the quote comes up for this product. Not only this product, but our other life portfolio, our Medicare supplement. This is really gonna get to the point where it's a one-stop shop to quote any of our products. So it's a great resource to have. Again, we can quote through a online quoting tool that's available through our Sales Professional Access site. Or again, all these life products are available in WinFlex if that is your chosen path. Again, WinFlex is, to me, a little too detailed and a little too much for a simplified issue product, but a lot of agents are familiar with it, and sometimes the customers do like that illustration where you can run the quote, give them a piece of paper that tells what the policy is about with all the numbers. So if you want to run an illustration to get that, that's available out there too to hand to your customer to give if that's the case there. All of these 3 products are available on iGo application, and again, that's accessible through our Sales Professional Access site, and that's also where you can get any of our paper applications if that's your preferred method as well. So if there's anything you need, that Sales Professional Access site is a great spot for resources. It has all the brochures out there for you guys. Any information that if you have questions on the policy. It also covers our other products because, again, we do have a full array of life insurance products here at Mutual of Omaha. It actually could take hours to go over all of them, but we do have fully underwritten life insurance with our Term Life Answers. We have universal life insurance, which is both the guaranteed universal life. We have a simplified issue product of that. Or the fully underwritten one. And then we also do have some index universal life insurance out there as well. We have a couple policies there. So if you need to know anything about those policies, they're all out there and available for you. So there, I don't know if we want to open it up to questions or, we've got a little bit of time left. So, Mark, I don't know how you want to proceed, or do you want me to try to open up the portal and do a quick demo of that?
Yeah, we might get to that. Let me just check. The last time I checked on the questions, Jeremy, well, we
Okay.
do have one,
Okay.
and it's from Fred. And Fred asks, if this occurs, and I'm not sure what the if is, does the Mutual of Omaha send out info to make a phone? So this is regarding the owner change, and then what kind of
Okay.
notification is necessary to meet that? Good question.
Okay. For the owner,
thanks.
yeah, on the owner change, unfortunately, it is up to if we notice, because as an insurance company, we do check, Social Security death rolls and things like that, because we need to check to see if that person is insured with us. So if they're insured with us, we could possibly know this, and then we would make an attempt to change the owner of that policy by notifying somebody. However, if we do not know that owner has passed, we do not make that, and so we don't jump out to do that. Most of the time it's going to be up to the family to notify us, and that's what what typically happen is we'll see that they're dealing with the passing of grandma, they're kind of going through her estate. Maybe she told somebody, maybe she didn't, but as they do that, she may have been gone for 2 months now, and they find the policy, and then they call us. That's when we would kind of retroactively kind of take care of that, waive those premiums, and get the policy back in good standing. So that's typically how that's going to work. So if we were to know, we would absolutely take whatever steps we needed to change that ownership. But unfortunately, in most cases, we're not going to know that the person passed away unless grandma or mom or dad actually has a policy with us. So it's kind of a yes and no answer there. We won't automatically do it if we don't know that the owner died, but if we do, we would proactively find out what's going on with that ownership.
Excellent. Thank you again. And then we have a question coming in from Philip, would like to know, is there a single premium product available from Mutual of Omaha?
A single pay option? Not with this express underwriting, so none of these or anything that's similar to these we do have. We do have a few, if you're looking for something similar to that, our universal life portfolio. We do have a few that you can do a one pay, short pay, dump it. Like I've seen an example where somebody rolled over a 401k that they didn't need. So they dumped the $48,000 401k that they had built up and just kind of dumped it into a universal life insurance with a one pay. So something like that is available, but we do not have a single pay like a whole life or a term life. That would have to go into that universal life and in that world and see what kind of illustration would run from that.
Okay. And again, thank you, Jeremy. Philip, if you'd like to check in with us so we can get more specific with you for this particular client in the state of Florida, rather than putting Jeremy through that hoop right now. And then we have an agent just giving you a positive point of view here that in his experience, you guys are the best and most efficient carrier that he's had the experience to work with. Thank you. Great job.
Oh, absolutely. And I appreciate that. And that's actually the kind of feedback we look for and we want, not only from our customers, but from our agents. Because, I mean, when I first started in this position a few years back, one of the biggest complaints we heard was how we're not there to listen, or, you don't work with us as agents when we're bringing you the business. So we are one of the few carriers that gives you a direct line into our underwriting department. We have a sales support area you can call. We don't want to put middlemen in between you and the people who need that information. So I appreciate that you appreciate that with us, and we're constantly continuing to try to get better at that to help you guys sell our products.
Yes, again, thank you very much, Steve, for that comment. Yeah, Jeremy, if you want to jump over and do a little bit of work on the website or show them something on the quoting tool, that'd be great.
Sure. Let me see what I can.
While he's working on that, I'll just say a couple of little things in here. Again, as always, we like to kind of recap the presentation. The presentation has been recorded. It will be on the Messer website. It will post next Tuesday, so you can come back in and get a review, because, again, it was packed full of information. It moved pretty quick, to say the least. But as you were able to see, If you're out there with clients and you've recently worked with them during the open enrollment for their Medicare Advantage plan, or during the year you're working on those medical supplements, and also, by the way, we will be having Mutual of Omaha presenting their medical supplement products to us within the next month. You're going to have an opportunity with those clients to go over to this simplified issued product. And again, once you learn the tools that are available to you here that we're going to touch on now, but most importantly, once you get appointed as an agent to sell these products, which again is a very simple process, get onto our website, messerfinancial.com, click on that agent resources, or use the tab you'll see on the sideline for actual contracting, and get your appointment running. Then you'll be able to jump in on the products. Touch lightly again on the term product. Great opportunity with limited number of questions we saw. And most importantly, a learning lesson for me. I was not aware that they were offering the living benefits. And you know, I have been preaching selling, if you're going to sell term, sell it with living benefits. So here you've got all these benefits, no extra cost. How can you beat it?
Absolutely. I agree with that statement. As I said before, the living benefits changed that policy for us. We really did not sell it much. It was kind of a shelved policy. We still had it. But once we changed those living benefits, it really became part of our core offering, and we're seeing great response from the field from it.
And then those extra two that I was also not aware of, the waiver of premium for residential damage or for unemployment. That's just great. And I think a lot of you can immediately see the enforcement of that opportunity as a closing tool. Sometimes you don't want to give away all your bullets. So if you do run into something during the presentation where your client's saying, well, they're looking at somebody else or they're doing something else, then you can pull out this type of a thing and say, well, I'm going to tell you what, nobody's going to give you the opportunity to have your premium waived for 6 months if your house suffers severe damage, as those in you in Florida would experience and elsewhere very well, or even worse, that you become unemployed. Who's going to give you that benefit? So now you got a hammer and a tool to come back with and take advantage of it. There it is. It's right there for you.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit too on the children program. I think Jeremy did a great job to show you, starting off a client with that policy between 5 and 50 and using the high end of 50 because, at $16 a month, let's face it, you got grandparents that you just met with. You talked about the simplified product to add on to their arsenal for their benefits to their estate. And then you come back to the grandkids who are the most important things in their life now. And you've got an opportunity to put this in their hands. And again, you've got so many bullets here to use, how they're going to be able to add those additional policies, extensions over time and with changes in life. So it's a benefit that's really unheard of. You could move these clients could move from a $50,000 policy to a $400,000 whole life policy. I mean, I'm going to tell you that's you can't get any stronger without any health questions. Again, I don't want to take the emphasis out of it. Jeremy, thank you. Let's go on over to your next steps here, please.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it because I'm very passionate about that as well. I think those are excellent benefits, and that's what I try to to present too with some of our products. Is we all know what a whole life product is. We all know what a term product is. But what separates us from our competitors, or what do we feel that the customers are wanting right now? And those are the type of things that really help sell. And a lot of the stuff that we do research on to find out why customers are wanting it, a lot of customers don't know they want it. Some of the questions we ask them is, why did you buy that life insurance policy? And most of the times what we get back is because my agent told me about it. So don't assume they know any of this, because that's what I see. Some of the hesitations with some that sell life is, I think a lot of agents feel the customers know a lot of this or even understand what that is for, guaranteed insurability rider. You may bring it up, but you really got to explain it, because I think they know what it means in the sense of the words, but they really don't know the impact it can have on their child or grandchild. So excellent points to bring up. So, okay, again, so what I did here is I logged into what we call Sales Professional Access. If you sold with us, you might be familiar with it. If you haven't sold with us and you have a writing number, you simply go to mutualofomaha.com. There's a login section. It'll ask if you're a customer or producer. You click producer. You set up an account. Once you set the account up, this is where you'll go. You'll notice some of the pieces on my screen are a little different. It's because I'm an employee, so there's things that you can't do that I can. Like clone a user or select a producer, you know, all those type of things. So, but in general, this is pretty much where you will log into. In this middle part here would be any reporting that you have, either whether we have conservation reporting that some of your policies are lapsing, that'll be listed here. If you have a set, your cases that are within 60 days of issue, they're going to be over here so you could see and run reports on what you have pending out there. Mine are blank because I don't actually write insurance, so that's why those two boxes are blank, but all that's available to you out here so you can see. There is a new report that I can't show you right now, again, because I don't have it, but we have persistency and placement reports, so you can look at, you know, how you're doing as an agent. Are your, you know, is your persistency up or is your placement down? Just so you can see what's happening with the bulk of your business. All great, exciting stuff right at your fingertips. So what else is available here? You go up to the top, the products. You have a full list of all of our products that we offer as a company, from life, Medicare supplement, long-term care, dental, disability. It's all available out here. So you can see our index, our universal life products, our term life. So, you know, you click on the whole life option, and, you know, it brings up our whole life, you know, portfolio. So, you know, you choose a state, let's jump on Arizona. Again, these are the whole life. I covered both of these, Living Promise and Children's Whole Life. So it just gives you, you know, a little information about it, all the resources here, our life portfolio booklet if you want, all that's available out here. So very easy to navigate. The biggest things I'll kind of show you here is, again, if you want to write an application with us, come over to your sales tools, electronic applications. You click on it. Medicare supplement is as a company, is our #1 policy that we sell and offer out there. So it's at the top of there. You just simply scroll down. So you'll see there's the Medicare supplement app. Then there's the dental application. Third in line is the life application, and then, you know, so on down to the critical illness. So again, here you've got user's guides if you want to learn how to use the application. The signature guide of how you can get an electronic signature through us. You know, all this type of stuff is available. For our fully underwritten product, we have a speedy ticket where you just drop in, you know, a partially filled out application, and we finish it for you through one of our services by asking the health questions and setting up parameds. So there's a lot of great things you can learn just by reading that. But again, you click the e-app. Those familiar with IGO is you kind of transfer over to that system. So now this opens IGO for you, where you can either start a new case or view my cases. Starting new cases with us are easy. The IE application, again, yellow fields are required, so you need to fill those out. Once they've been satisfied, they turn white. Got a little ahead of myself there. So, you know, you select what state you're in, you know, the products that are available, accidental death, term life, or whole life. So if you pick whole life, you'll find available products. You'll see in Arizona, it's, again, the two we have, Children's and Living Promise. If you want to write one of our term products, change it to term, find available products. You got the term life answers are fully underwritten, so you can either do the application yourself, drop a speedy ticket, or here's the Term Life Express, the one that I covered today, is right down here. And you just select it, and it kind of takes you on into the application to fill out. So very simple, very easy. We do offer electronic signature. Right now, it's available through email if they would like to have an email to them to sign, or if you are physically face-to-face with the customer, you can have them sign on your computer by clicking a few buttons. If you have a tablet, they can use their finger to sign the application. It all depends on how you're operating as an agent there, but the one thing we do not have is voice signature. So it's something we consider. We're still talking about it, but it is currently not available with our e-application. So again, that's our IGO e-application, very easy to access here. Go back over here real quick. Another thing that a lot of people don't use and utilize enough is, well, actually it's not going to let me do it because, again, I'm an employee, but it's forms and materials. If you click on this, option right here, you can go in and you'll pick the underwriting company, which would be United of Omaha for life insurance, what type of insurance, whether you're doing marketing, whether you're doing this, but there's a lot of forms of materials that are available for you as agents to use, whether it's a downloadable brochure, whether it's an email sample, whether it's, a rate chart, a rate guide. We have agent guides out there that are for producer use only, so you can have, just a booklet on Living Promise that has all the underwriting and all the stuff right there for you. So you could print one or, order one from us and just have this. It's all there available at your fingertips. If you want to just go out to that forms of material section, that's also where you'll find all of our paper apps and that type of information. So there's a lot out here that you can do. Again, the reports, I don't have any because I don't write, but this is where you could find those reports on persistency and placement, training and compliance. Selling life, you always need, every 2 years, you need that anti-money laundering. The course isn't actually out here, but we do offer it available through LIMRA, and, you can click on, here's the login instructions that'll be available for you to click on it and take it, and then it'll automatically log with us that you have that. So again, there's a ton of information out here, a ton of resources for you to sell our products. But it's actually, I think a lot of agents aren't that familiar with what's available at the site, but it is out here, and it's a great resource for you. So with that, is there any more questions at this time or anything else in the short time we have left?
Again, thank you very much, Jeremy, for all the information you provided with us today. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I know it can be frustrating at times as an agent. There's so many carriers out there. You're saying, well, who do I need to get my contracts with? Who's going to help me in these areas? And I think, again, what Jeremy has shown you today, first and foremost, is from the life insurance side, you've got all the opportunities that you could ever use. They're always competitive. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about the simplified life product, again, the Living Promise for your older clients, whether we're talking about the term life products now with the living benefits. And then again, too, what he pointed out, and it might have flown by you, the first one, what he presented was the Express, and that was to make it as simple for you as possible without having to have blood work or urine, without having to order a paramed. Now, if in the case you have a client, though, who is very healthy, you might want to go to the full underwritten product because obviously what's going to happen is you're going to get them a better rate for the premium, or the premium will be a better rate for that face amount that you're trying to lock in. I think it goes without question, but I'm just going to ask it to be sure. So, Jeremy, if they do go with the underwritten life product, they still attain, I assume, all the additional riders for living benefits at no cost?
There is living benefits on that. They are not exactly the same, though. We do have the terminal illness on our fully underwritten, but we do not have the chronic and critical as that part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really important to know. How about the residential and the unemployment waiver? Those are available on the underwritten?
Correct. Those are available on the fully underwritten side.
Okay. All right. So just the main thing there then is if you want to really add or enhance the product with those living benefits of chronic and critical, stick with the Express product. That'll make it best for your client.
Absolutely. And like on the site too, when you do the products, like I said, if you do the term products and click on here, you can line them up side by side and show that what everything's available between the two. So,
okay.
So a great resource when you're looking at the Express. The Answers is our fully underwritten. So if you want to compare what the two difference there between the simplified and full medical, just go here and look it all up.
Excellent. And it looks like that 10-year term life on the underwritten goes all the way out to age 80. Non-tobacco. That's excellent.
Correct.
That's
it does.
Nice feature. An 80-year-old can grab a 10-year term. So just little things like that. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And again, as Jeremy pointed out, it's going to run off of the iGo face software. You saw it there on the website. If you go over to Mutual of Omaha, it's also what will appear if you're on the Messer website because we do have that same tool, and it looks exactly the same, where you're going to click on starting a new client or whether you're going to click on an existing client you have working. And also, as I mentioned, as an agent trying to simplify your world, if you have this Mutual of Omaha contract and you have that flexibility to work with them when they're young, get them on a term product, get the referral into their parents' household and work with that simplified product, or again, perhaps into that supplement product itself. And again, always with those grandparents, especially that you're working with. I mean, they know the Mutual of Omaha logo from Animal Kingdom days. Now, for some of you agents, that's, you weren't around during those days. But for the majority of us that are in the industry today, that's something that they can fall back on with. Again, it's the easy, high recognition that you're looking for. It makes your life a lot easier.
Absolutely. I hear it from agents all the time. Once you mention our name, some of them will even sing you the old song from the TV show. So,
unfortunately, our agents are aging. So there's another thing for all of you that are out there. If you want to consider starting your own agency, try to get some new young blood in there, because there's too many of us that are going to be leaving the business in the years to come and not enough filling those gaps. So you could probably build yourself a pretty good agency with some young agents today.
Absolutely.
Well, and again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for taking the time to learn, to enhance your own business opportunities. Again, we want to thank Jeremy today for his time, getting up a little bit earlier than a lot of you had to, because he is out in homeland there for Mutual of Omaha. And Jeremy, what else? Anything that you have a little tidbit that you want to throw in, or?
No, I think we covered most of it. Just again, appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you guys and to talk about our products, or a little bit about our company. And those of you that are selling our products, again, thank you. We really do appreciate it. And if there's anything we can help out with, let us know. We're here to help you sell our products. So don't ever hesitate to ask a question or reach out to us if you need anything.
Okay, we just had one good question come in here late. Agent wants to know that because she is contracted with Mutual of Omaha on the life side, does that get her contracted to sell on the medical supplement side? And absolutely.
She's contracted, yes. We would need new appointment paperwork from whoever, because our Medicare supplement is underwritten by different companies. So a lot of it's under the Mutual side. So we would have to appoint you with both United and Mutual. So we would just have to clean that up. But your contract absolutely is overall contract.
Good. Very good. Thank you on that. And another agent who has left the broadcast today is also signed in with a thank you for the very informative presentation, Jeremy.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And all of you out there, last year we missed out on our sales event, our annual event, because of weather. But this year we're already in the planning stages, and Jeremy and his team of fellow representatives from Mutual of Omaha will be joining us, so you can meet these people face to face. And also, again, as we go down the road here in the months ahead, we're looking forward to having our best efforts put forth and to have a Mutual of Omaha presentation by Jason on the Med Sups. And then we're going to follow it up probably in the month of May with Kyle to do the DI work. So it gets you fully rounded. And again, it's going to help you as agents to be contracted in one place to sell all those products.
Agreed.
So without further ado, again, I thank you all for being with us today. And next Wednesday, again, please join us here at the Messer Financial Group as we present to you another product, another company to, again, help enhance your benefits. Jeremy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, signing off. Thank you. Have a great week.
Yeah.